Maybe you came here looking for an answer. Maybe your heart is heavy and your mind can't find peace. Or maybe you're simply tired of worrying about everything. And I understand, because we've all been there, that feeling of not being able to take any more, of thinking about everything that's missing, what's not working, the problems that won't go away, and the uncertain future. It's as if the soul gets exhausted, as if faith wavers a bit. But today I want to speak directly to you because there is something that transforms, something that calms, and that something is truly trusting in God. Sometimes we think faith is just something we say with our lips, but trust is something else. Trusting is letting go, surrendering, allowing God to take control, even when we don't understand anything. It's that moment when you say, Lord, I can't anymore, but you can. And right there, that's where true rest begins. If this message touches your heart, I invite you to help us touch the hearts of others. Like this video, comment, share, because in doing so, you become part of something much bigger. You're helping more people, perhaps with the same fears as you, find a word of comfort, a guide, a reminder that God has not forgotten them. And believe me, that is a huge blessing. In fact, if you want to leave a comment, write these words, I trust in God. That's it. You don't need to explain more. He already knows what's behind that phrase. Now, prepare your heart, open your spirit, and take a deep breath, because what's coming might be the beginning of your peace. And who knows, maybe the end of this prayer will be the most special moment you live today. Stay until the end. It's worth it. Part 1. Trust God, even when everything feels unstable. Let's speak honestly, face to face, because that's what this space is about, speaking from the heart. There are days when everything seems to fall apart, right? Moments when life feels like chaos, where every worry stacks up like heavy bricks on your shoulders and you feel like you can't take any more. The job that doesn't work out, children who get sick, bills that can't be paid, relationships growing cold, prayers that seem unanswered. It all becomes a constant noise in your mind. And when you live with that noise, it's hard to trust. Very hard. But it's right there, in the middle of that storm, where it's needed most. God never promised us a life without problems, that's clear, but He did promise to be with us in the middle of the storm. Psalm 55:22 says, Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. That's powerful. It doesn't say the burden will disappear instantly, but when you hand it to Him, when you stop carrying it alone, He takes it and sustains you, and that changes everything. Here's something important. Trust is not an emotion. Trust is a decision. It's telling your soul every day, I don't understand, but I believe. I don't have it all figured out, but I hold on. I'm tired, but I still believe God has a purpose. Because if you don't decide to trust, you decide to worry. There is no middle ground. Worry is born when we stop looking at God and start focusing only on the problems. Like when Peter walked on water, while his eyes were on Jesus, everything was fine. But as soon as he looked at the wind and the waves, he sank. That's what happens to us. And yes, you might say it's not that easy. And no, it's not. No one said letting go of control is easy. But you know what's harder? Living every day with a tired soul, an anxious heart, and a burdened mind. That is truly exhausting. That's why God says to you today, leave it in my hands. Trust me. Isaiah 41:10 says, Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This means that even when you feel like you're falling, there's a steady hand holding you. Even if everything around you shakes, there's a rock that cannot be moved, and that rock is God. When we get used to worrying about everything, we start living as if God didn't exist, as if everything depended on us. And that's a weight no human can bear. But when you decide to trust, you start living in freedom. So today, with all my heart, let me tell you this. It's okay not to have everything under control. It's okay not to know how things will work out. The important thing is to know who does have control, and that's God. He doesn't need you to understand the process. He just needs you to trust that His will is good, pleasing, and perfect. Say it quietly or in your heart, I trust in God. I don't understand everything, but I trust. I don't have it all, but I trust. I can't anymore, but I trust. Because trusting God is not just a nice option, it's the only way to live with peace in this chaotic world.